right, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3. Ni hao ma. Who's alive? Who's alive? Alrighty. All right, welcome to Forex.Today, yo. Just so you know, Forex.Today is a YouTube community of almost 19,000 foreign exchange traders stationed around the world. We have synchronized our watches. Wait, I don't have a watch. I don't even have a watch on my desk. What? I got nothing? Wow. Anyway, so I guess I'm synchronizing my phone. And, hey, we're coordinating because we're a community. We support each other because we're a community. We're together. We're trying to improve. We're collaborating. We're motivating. And we're supportive of each other. And I appreciate that. Without further ado, let's go. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. All right. Hey, so my name is Wayne. I'm a currency trader. And I'm happy to be a currency trader. Sorry, I'm messing around with stuff over here. Happy to be a currency trader. Oh, look what I just ran into. Hey. I got my certificate. It's in here. But anyways, it's official now. I learned cryptocurrencies from Gary Gensler at MIT. I got the piece of paper to prove it. Very cool. Word of a couple of things for MIT. Hey, MIT, this tube is really cool. It's much nicer than what Harvard gave me. But the piece of paper inside that I paid money for, there it is. It's cheap, dude. Come on. Kick down, come clean. Don't be a holdout machine. Come on, man. Did you photocopy it? Come on, man. I paid thousands of dollars for that. Put it on some nice paper, man. Anyways. Hey. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis. These things I care about a lot. Trader psychology. Challenging yesterday, huh? Well, you know what yesterday? At approximately 8 p.m., I poured myself a whiskey and went to work, and it was the greatest day ever. Yeah. So everything that could lift off did lift off. Notice, though, right, for those that were in the Asian session with me last night, we looked at, 6 or 7 things that were all set up. Man, and they all took off. How nice. Very, very cool. So lots to be grateful for. Maybe, just maybe, it's a sign of things are coming together perfectly. Perfectly. Maybe. Maybe not. So, anyways, today I'm sure we want to talk about the Fed meeting, the Fed decision, and all that kind of stuff. Sure, for sure. We can talk about that. What else is going on? Yeah, well, we got a lot of interesting things going on around the world to do with macroeconomics. We had the Bank of England today, also, which is come and gone, and you probably already traded that. But Norway's raised. Did they do it? I don't even know. We have to look. Norway's going to raise interest rates, or they just did. I don't even know when that meeting is, but that was something else that's on my mind. We might want to look at Norway today. So whatever. Hey, ask questions, get involved, take notes, treat each other with dignity and respect. And visit tradersway.com. Open up a demo account. Why? Why not? Oh, yeah, don't forget Turkey. I'm sorry, I apologize. The Turkish Central Bank. Except it's untradeable because it's not a real currency anymore. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. But you know what? The fact that they are raising interest rates is really interesting because Erdogan would fire central bankers that tried to raise interest rates. So has Erdogan lost power? I don't know. So that might be an interesting turn of event. But anyways, so today I'd like you to visit tradersway.com. On the bottom right-hand corner, you can open up a demo account. And you'll see fast execution speed, narrow spreads, wide swaps, customer service, world-class. But ultimately, look, you're going to need to choose a broker one day. And the most important thing besides all of that, even more important than that, is having trust. So if you open up a demo account and you trade along with me or you learn along with me through these live streams, that's really cool. But along the way, hopefully they earn your loyalty and respect. You're not taking my word for it. You're not taking other people's words for it, right? You're literally giving them a chance to earn your loyalty and respect. And that's all I'm asking for. Give them a chance. You might be very pleasantly surprised. Tradersway.com. Cool. So here we is. And what were we hoping for? What were we hoping for? Oh my God. Oh my God. So what you probably witnessed yesterday after the Fed meeting was straight up, right? Straight up and then straight down. Okay. And in our analysis, though, when we look at fundamentals, we said, okay, this did happen. But remember, I said the biggest risk, before the event, the biggest risk is that people misunderstand and make mistakes, right? Not us, the entire market. But what does the fundies tell us based on what the Fed said? Taper probably at the next meeting. Okay, so we learned that. And taper very fast. So what does that mean? USD should, doesn't mean it will, but should fall. That's what one would assume. And so it's very disconcerting to see, the market reacted this way and then there was a response that way. The dust settled and the dollar weakened. Okay? And of course, we also talked a lot about the yens, and the yens are supposed to weaken too. Cool. 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 So I noticed in the chat a few people woke up and went, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Cool. So how many people are doing well this morning? Oh, they cut rates. There you go. That'll cure their inflation problems, right? All right, how many people got it? Yeah? RC Cola got it? Meta got it? And Meta, if I remember correctly, you caught the price action, took profit, and then you bought the dip on the way down. Nice. Right? Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome, man. That's awesome. All right. Cool. So let's take a look at what is going on. What's going on? Nothing's right. I'm toned. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to set everything bullish. 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 Let's set this one bullish. Because now I'm interested in tomorrow. So today's already done, as you guys should know. Today's done. You've already made your money. If you're just showing up trying to figure things out, hey man, you're only a day late, or let's say 12 hours late. Okay? All right, cool. So this is not a good trade in my humble opinion, but it will be now. So we'll have something to do later. The reason for it is this is lower than the other ones. Okay? So not a good trade. Even though it went up, not a good trade. Now that had to do with the Bank of England, right? And 2 people dissented this time. And it was expected 1 person would dissent, but not 2. So that's good. So, right? That's good. Let's drop into a smaller time frame. Is that set right? Let me double check this. Day trading bullish bias. Okay. This is a lower low. So this is not a good buy. Hey, but Wayne, it went up. Yeah, it's still not a good buy. Okay. But now it can be. So we got something to do later today. Kiwi. Okay. Very mediocre. I'd say this lower low also takes it out. So not a good buy. Aussie. Neutral, 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 neutral. Came down, hit our support, and then went up. Tradable, but because of the other ones were not quite tradable, you probably did not do it. That's fine. Okay? Now, if you guys have traded some of those dollar pairs and you're making money now, they're not actually good trades. Okay? Just so you know. You don't define good and bad by how much money you're making or losing. Okay? And how'd this one do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 hours ago when we met in the Asian session, this was a front run. This one was a decent trade. And that's one of the ones we talked about. In fact, because many of the dollar pairs had actually made lower lows, I said, look, if you want to buy, if you want to buy the dollar instead of selling the dollar, and we had a discussion about this. What do you do when you're long-term bearish on the US dollar, but the dollar is persistently strong? Well, okay, if the buy zones are falling day after day after day, what you're really looking at is sell zones. And if you need to flip, you can flip until they stop dropping. That's fine. So actually yesterday on pairs like euro dollar, I actually said, look, man, if bond yields are falling and you kind of on the short run have given up, or you want to actually trade euro dollar down while you wait to buy it, you can do it. Just make a decision and don't feel bad about it. Follow the yields, follow price action, make those decisions. Or don't and just wait, keep waiting. I'm like, it's only 3 weeks that we've had dollar strength and we expected it. But we went through the pairs and said, look, if you're going to sell, there are 2 or 3 you could sell. Okay? Now, in that case, if you were selling euro dollar, you'd be buying this one, okay? But I highlighted this one and say, well, you can't buy this one. This one is still bearish, and that's what we want to be. We want to be selling dollars and buying CAD. So this wouldn't be one, okay? So the interesting thing is the ones that were set up worked, I guess. Right? Anyways. But even better than this are the yens. And in fact, I was more focused on the yens than the dollar pairs. We were watching dollar pairs here and I'm watching yen pairs there, only because there's less noise, right? There's less sensitivity to interpretation of the Fed's meeting. So anyways, let me go into a smaller time frame here. And so 12 hours ago when the day trading group met, okay, Yesterday we started the day here. At post-Fed meeting, we made a higher high. So how do you treat it? You buy a higher low. Remember, this is essentially daily central pivot plus the spread, plus me not looking for exact perfection. Okay, but the most important part that we talked about on all these yen pairs was the buy zone was higher than that buy zone. This is straight out of the day trading course. So if this is interesting to you, if you're like, wow, this looks really neat, you need to take the day trading course. So my day trading group has all completed the day trading course, right? So this is not a, this is not a buy, this is not a buy, this is not a buy, this is a buy. Very, very clearly, it's a buy, okay? And this is where we are now, okay? Now, it's only 50, 60 pips, but I'm not in charge of how many pips they give. That's just the trade, okay? So Aussie yen. Now you look at CAD yen, okay? This one, I was showing different examples of how of aggression, right? We were here in the Asian session, and the previous one, the Aussie, I said you could take this one simply by buying it. I bought it and threw a stop. Then this one I said, or you can hope for a bigger pullback and try to catch it way down near a 618 midpoint psych level. So I threw this one down, okay, and had a stop on it, right? Great, an OCO stop, right? Great. So that's another one. This is more cautious, but not, right? Just more cautious, but not necessarily the right thing in that moment. And you got to remember, none of this had moved yet in the right direction. Then you zip, I just killed it. Dope! Hang on. That was Kiwi yen, wasn't it? Template, day trading, bullish. Okay. Going to this one now. Watch this, window, vertical, boom. So where'd the Kiwi go? That's way over here now. All right, so taking a look at this one, I did the same thing. Okay, there's the double bottom. Here's the higher high. So on the first one, I just bought it wherever it was at that time. And I could say, look, you're buying a higher low. The pivots have moved in the right direction. So you can be a buyer. Oops, that's a higher high. Okay. So on this one, what I did is I threw a limit order, right? The previous one, I put it on the bottom of the daily buy zone. Okay, so the first one I just bought. The second one I threw at the central, and the other one, which I never got, I threw down in here. So this is more aggressive, this is more conservative, and the other one was just in. Just pull the trigger in. So this one came down a few more pips, put me in, and long and gone. Okay? Okay? Luis, I don't care about the number, I care about the direction. So higher. Okay? Cool, so here's another example. Okay? Double bottom, higher high, higher low. Okay, central pivot point in Asia. We call this the Asian fade. This one's produced. Look, and it's already given you tomorrow's trade. Look, tomorrow's trade's already done. You've already missed tomorrow's trade. Tomorrow's already done. You missed it. It's gone. Major says this stream is priceless knowledge. No, it's not. It has a price. Visit fxbootcamp.com. Take the courses. Okay? Likes are nice, but come on. Likes are nice. maybe instead of making $89 a month, I'll make $98 a month if more people like. Theta, the swing trading group, is meeting today at 3 p.m. Okay? So anyways, check this out. It's already gone. You already missed tomorrow. How does that make you feel? If you missed today, yesterday, you've already missed tomorrow today. Luis says yield on the 10-year 1.56. Sure. But 1.8, 1.65. I mean, it to me, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, it will matter to more like Chinese real estate companies that are overexposed to variable debt priced in dollars. Okay. It'll be important to emerging markets that are exposed to dollar-denominated debt that's floating. But to me, it's about direction. Okay. Cool. So anyways, there's that one. And by the way, I bought the dip on this euro yen. So I am in tomorrow's trade, just FYI. I don't remember the price, but I am in. Cool. And yeah. Huh. Cool, right? Solodica says, hey, will people not front run the Fed taper again? The taper begins in November is what the market is saying. See, if the one way of looking at it is, if you think the bond market's going to fall and you own bonds, are you going to wait for it to fall? Or are you just going to get out now while it's still high? Georgie says, hey, is the unemployment number in 5 minutes? Will you trade this? Well, first of all, it's just weekly jobless claims. We're already well tuned to the trend. We already listened to the Fed. Yes, the Fed is watching, all these kinds of things. But honestly, it's just a tiny little piece of news. We got way more important things going on than that right now. Will I trade it? Well, I just explained that 12 hours ago, right? I took today's trade. So like today's news that's about to come out, well, I'm already done today. And in fact, in this pullback, I bought this one, which is tomorrow. Okay, George? So in this case, when it comes to euro yen, I'm already done today and I'm already done tomorrow. So this news, the news will happen. Okay, the news will happen. And most likely it will be approximately on trend. It might be a little less than on trend. It might be a little better than on trend. But the market's in motion. Okay? The motion is the part, right? We've caught the jet stream. We've caught the trade currents, the trade wind, whatever. Game on, man. Game on is what I'm hoping. Now, if all this collapses, then once again, we're going to have our heart broken. But this is what's supposed to happen, right? The reason this is important is, I'll pick a number here, 7 months ago. Okay, 7 months ago. Okay, this, I said it would do this today. Well, Jim says it's noise. I wouldn't take it that far. All I was saying, Jim, is like I'm already done today. So if the news comes out and it's really surprising and it knocks me out at break even, oh well, that sucks. Or if it's really surprising the other way, it'll put more pips in my pocket. Most likely, it won't really do anything sort of major, right? Okay. But yes, so 7 months ago, I said on this particular day, we will have a change in direction, particularly buying yen pairs. So this might be nonsense. It might be BS in the sense that it's total coincidence. But the thing is, because it's a belief, you accept it. Right? You accept it, right? You're like, okay, I think that's what's happening. My hypothesis says, again, this exact day. Cool. So it might be coincidence, but I'm a believer, and I will continue until it fails. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. So maybe it's the beginning of something nice, but we don't know. Alton says, all sales set then for Q4. The conditions seem fine. It seems favorable, but we just don't know quite yet. But it's a good start, right? Look, when it's 8 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday and you already have Friday's trade in and profitable, yeah, it's a good day. But a lot can happen between now and the weekend, right? So let's say this does give us our lift off and we get up to this level and we end Friday down in here, and then it kind of gaps down on Sunday, and it will knock me out of this trade. I'm in there somewhere around there. Okay? So, and then it'll be very disappointing. You're like, oh man. But, like, let's go back to the other trade, right? Because my other trades are not on this account. Here's the Aussie. So what's my thought process now? My thought process is I can only lose 3 pips. You can see my stop is now at break even. Where's my limit? I'm going for 83 and I'm in at 79.5. Okay? Huh. Okay? So that's my thought process. Will we get there? I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay? But that's my thought process. And if anything, well, I'm going to leave that, but I'm going to try to buy another dip, and the new limit's going to be a little higher. And then I'll buy the next dip, and that limit will be a little higher. And then I'll buy that dip, and then that limit will be a little higher. And then there'll probably be a little 3-wave correction. And then I'll buy another dip, and that limit will be a little higher. Each one, 333, 333, 333. Okay, 333. And what'll happen is if I get 3 losses, loss, right? Let's say they all come back down. Instead of making money, I lose money. These 3 losses, okay, equal 1/3 of a percent. Now, if they win 1%, 1%, 1%, and then of course the fourth one eventually works out 1%. So let's not count the last one. So here's what I'm doing. I'm risking 1/3 of a percent going for, right, risk reward 3%. And since the trades are so small, I can grab another, right? Because the risk is so tiny on these trades, the account's never in jeopardy. But if I catch fundamental trends, the reward stacks up. Okay? Okay, so right now I am going to earn 1% or 0%. My work is done here. I will not spend any more time. Cool. One good trend pays for them all. Yeah. Mohammed says there's no clear taper decision. Let me tell you what they said. Apparently you weren't there. They said taper is likely to happen in November. That's what he said. He also said taper will be complete by the middle of 2022. So June, Fed meeting, 22. So Mohammed says no clear taper decision. Well, they told us probably November and probably done. So they're going to do just about, it's a little less than 20 billion a month. I think what they'll do is they'll announce the taper and start in January, but they might just start in November, which is weird because then you get, 16.8 billion per month or something. But that's pretty clear to me. Okay? So Mohammed then says 1% from the year trading account. Yeah, so look at the risk reward. If I lose 100 pips, this is just an example I gave in the day trading course, in the day trading group. So it's not a hard rule, but it's food for thought. Okay? 100 pips is equal to less than 1%. In fact, you would have to lose 300 pips, okay, to lose 1% of your account. And you guys might be laughing your ass off out how pathetically small that is. Okay? The thing is, most amateur traders find it nearly impossible to make 300 pips. So I actually said it 333, but whatever. They're like, I can't imagine making 333 pips on a trade. Well, therein lies your problem. I can't imagine losing 333 pips. And there's the difference. I can't imagine losing 333 pips, but I think this is reasonable, okay? Per trade. Not on 5 trades combined together. No, per trade. Okay? So basically, I would have to have, think of it this way, I have to have 10 losers in a row to lose 1%, but I can get one winner and make 1%. Like, I can be wrong 90% of the time and break even. Well, I'm a little better than that, right? Okay. Actually, Cash, no. So if you got an article or something, just email me. I've always thought Gann was a nutcase, but I'll tell you, I know nothing. So I'll start with that. I know nothing about Gann. But I thought I read something many years ago, and you start looking at his theories, and I'm like, this is the guy you think is a genius, and then you see that he sits in his tiny little apartment with tinfoil on his head to help receive messages from the mother ship, and you're like, oh wait, this guy isn't a genius, this guy's a nutcase. And it's hard to tell the difference sometimes between a genius and a nutcase. Okay, so anyways, send me an email. Yeah, send me an email if you got an article on that. Yeah, it'd be interesting. All right. Cool. Oil now bounced from 70 to 72. Gave you a little roll reversal. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know what I mean? Nudge, nudge. Yeah, moon phases. So I know of a firm, and they seem just as crazy though. So the story is I used to do very regular TV interviews with Forex Television. So every time I was in New York, I'd sit down in front of the camera and do the interview, and it was just sort of a daily routine. And they're kind of near Water Street in downtown New York City, or at least they were, right? Which is just sort of a block and a half from the FXCM offices, or where they used to be. I don't know if FXCM has offices in the United States anymore, but anyways, in that part of, basically Wall Street. So anyway, so I'd go there all the time. It was maybe once a month I'd fly into New York and all that kind of stuff. Great. So anyways, you take the elevator up from the lobby to get to the floor where Forex Television's offices were, and you'd get out of the elevator, and there was an office door right there, right off the elevator, and there's like bumper stickers and things taped to the door all over the door. You can't help go, oh, therein lies a nutcase, right? So anyways, you read something on the door, and it was very clear that this person was a financial trader. I guess that's why they were on Wall Street. But they traded moon cycles. And there's astrological stuff on there and horoscope stuff, whatever you call that. And it was all on there. And, I don't criticize it. Like, it's so different from what I do. I like to pretend what I do is based on logic and fact. But of course, 90% of that is nonsense too, right? So this guy traded moon cycles. And then if you stop and think about it at first, especially with all the bumper stickers and all the crap on the door, you think the guy's a lunatic. But then you think about it like, well, it actually probably makes sense. You start to think about tides, you start to think about weather, you start to think about season, crops, would moon phases impact, agricultural commodities and stuff. And you're like, yeah, actually, there's probably a lot to it. And then you're like, okay, well, it's really not that crazy. Maybe this guy is crazy. Maybe he's just a crazy liberal, the guys that put 5,000 bumper stickers all around their car. I always laugh at those guys. Okay, whatever. So they're, right? But maybe there's some logic to it. I get it. I totally get it. It probably does work. So I can't laugh about it. The only thing I think about is, I think it's wonderful that market participants can participate in the market a million different ways and still make money. And the funny thing is, amateurs tend to lose money doing the same stupid things. Right? It's amazing that there's a million ways you can do it right, but probably only 5 or 10 ways to do it wrong. And everyone does the same 10 things wrong. Buy high, sell low. Okay? Cool, right? Anyways, whatever works. I've read stories over the years where people or hedge funds used to hire Soviet spy satellites that were decommissioned, and you could call up, I guess, apparently the Russian government and say, we want to rent some time on your Soviet satellites. And what they would do is, back when you couldn't get good data from the Ukraine, what they would do is the satellites would go over the Ukraine and they would take pictures of, how many fields were tilled this month. And then the satellite goes over a couple of weeks later, you rent some more time. Okay, how many of the fields have been planted? You start to look at these things. Okay, so they got the seeds in the ground, a little bit earlier this year. When will it likely harvest if the weather is normal? How many fields were seeded this year? Is there going to be too much wheat coming out of the Ukraine? If so, that would lower prices, all that kind of stuff. You could even track through shadows how tall the plants are. And you can say, oh my God, the drought has stunted growth on wheat and barley in the Ukraine. So there's going to be a shortage on yield. And so prices are going to go up in 7 months when harvest time comes along and there's less supply than planned. And so you want to buy futures now, right? Or if the Ukraine is having a fantastic year and it's going to be a bumper crop, oh no, well, there's going to be too much supply, so you should short sell futures contracts now in April because September is going to be oversupplied. But you know what? That's so 10 years ago. That's so 10 years ago. That probably doesn't work anymore because everybody knows this information, right? So plenty of ways to make money. Cool. So oil going up. We got that one right. Gold, thinking about doing something soon, huh? Okay. Thinking about maybe. So let's do a poll here. Let's do a poll. You guys ready for a poll? And not the zloty kind? Okay. Oh, hang on, almost done. Okay, let's see what you think. The one where it says gold prices will not change. That's your ranging cash. On average, it would be flat. You either have a positive mean, a negative mean, or a flat mean. And that would be your range, because it would, if it went up $100 down, $100 up, $100 down, right? The mean doesn't change. The mean would be 50, and that would be your range. Okay, 65 votes. That's it. Come on now. All right, 80. I guess only half of you want to participate. Whatever. Okay, cool. So, as you guys already know, I'm bullish, right, on gold, generally speaking, because first of all, we think dollar is going to weaken. That will force other central banks to try to weaken their currency as well, and they'll do so by buying gold. That's one theory. So let's change our chart. You can start by position trading bullish. Oh, what? Our current bottom is exactly M2, which means the target is, right? I might not be a smart man, but I know what the target is. Okay, that's my Forrest Gump one. I like the way you trade. That's my swing blade one. Cool. So what we're looking at price action wise, we got roll reversal there for a 1, 2, 3, and our challenge price is here. Okay. And then our fallback position is here. Okay. So what we're hoping for in the shorter run is this. Okay. So anyways, you can mark this down. Okay. And let's trap this here and here because I'm going to update my chart. Okay, so now I go to indicators, and I'm going to change this now from monthly to weekly. And the weekly buy zone, let's just double check. Yep. Okay. The weekly buy zone is inside the monthly buy zone. So that's all good in the hood. Change again. Biased pivots, bullish mode to daily. Okay. Zoom in. Okay. And tomorrow's zone is here. Okay. Notice in the moment, this is not a bullish setup. Okay. There's no trend yesterday. There's no trend today. And there's no bullish trend tomorrow. Okay? So this might be really next week's trade. So let's check, let's clean this up now and look for next week's trade. I know it's Thursday, but you definitely can start swinging. Okay? Looking at next week's setup, it's not very good. We're still quite neutral. Prevailing winds, right, are still down. So it's a little, technically, it's too early for gold on the medium term. On the short term, and you can see here by my trend lines, there's some hope. Hope's not a strategy, of course. So what you want to see over the course of this week and next, the down, the up to the mean, the down, okay? If we get this tomorrow, then this will rise to the bottom of here, and then what we're hoping for by the end of the week would be a test of 1800. So essentially 1750 as a buy this week, which we knew on Sunday, by the way. And next week, basically 1800. Okay? Some people say, obviously we took the vote, and some people say down. So what's going through the bearish mind? Okay? Pretty easy to go through here. Change this to bearish mode. So you go to bias pivots, throw it down into bearish mode. What are bears thinking? Bears are selling the top here, and there's a role reversal. That's why the pivot formed there. So a bear now is trying to trade this price action here. Down to the mean, back to the top. Remember, this is the primary. This is the secondary. Okay? Down to the secondary, back up. New primary touch. And their plan is to take it down lower. Okay? Below 1750, presumably back to 1700. Okay? So this is a standard deviation above the mean. This is a standard deviation, right? So what you want to do is look at the slope of the mean. Slope of the mean is indicated here. Okay? I know you guys want me to do this. Y equals mx plus b. Okay? In which the variable m is equal to the rise over the run. In this case, there's a negative rise over run, which means m, which is slope. Slope is statistically down, negative. Okay? So then you take a look at how far are these tops occurring from the mean, the negative mean, and you measure that out. And statistically, what you get is on average when it moves above the negative slope, how far does it on average go up? And we call that standard deviation. How far does it typically deviate above the mean and how before it reverts to the mean? So it's measuring the up and then the down. And then when it's below the mean, how far does it go? How far does it deviate, standard deviation, from the mean before it reverts back to the mean, thus creating the negative slope? Okay? So bears, that's what they see here. And they will continue to do it until it fails. A bull is trying to challenge them on this case. And since we don't know the future, you should at least know if you're a bull or a bear. And even if you're a bear, you should be aware that the bulls are thinking about challenging you. And if you're a bear on gold, so you like gold, specifically the metal, you're bearish on gold. Okay, that's great. But remember, US dollar isn't the metal, but you're also trading the dollar as well as the metal. And in this period of you selling gold, dollar might also fall. And bears might run into at least neutrality. Where gold is weak, the pricing of the metal is weak, but the pricing of the dollar in which it's priced is also weak. So that is also a threat to bears. Okay? Not only are you trading supply and demand for the metal, you're also competing with the Fed's new announced policies. Okay. Crypto says, hey, Wayne, capitalism will collapse. The dollar and the economy has no real backup. And you know this. And Corona is here because of the psychopathy in every system, health, financial law, etc. So I guess I'm going to jump off of a bridge. Yep. Well, thank you. That was good. Della says plus C. What? Y equals mx. Y equals mx plus b plus c? What? Which one is C, Della? What's C? Y and x are obviously, right, the axes. B is the intercept. So what's C? I don't know y equals mx plus c. But what is c? Let me try that. Y equals mx plus c. Who uses c? Y equals mx plus c where the gradient, what? Is it the same thing, just different variable? Okay. Y is the intercept. The equation in a straight line. So where do you, hang on. AX plus BY plus C equals 0. So it's the same thing. You're just interesting. I've never heard of it plus C. But they're just substituting B for C. They're just using a different. C is the vertical line intercept. What? Yeah, okay, let's find that out. Did it just take me there? I want to know the difference, solving the equation. No, I wanted the difference. What is the difference? The equation of a straight line, meaning of y equals mx. Y equals mx plus b minus c? Oh no. What's the difference between, okay, that's what we want to know. Oh no, that's not even the right thing. No, this is, yeah, okay, that's a silly question. Come on. Interesting. I think it's probably just the same thing, right? Crypto rich, inflation is coming. And, who cares, dude? Make more money, you'll be fine. Yeah, there isn't a difference, right? Just C versus B. It's interesting. It's probably, you know, I don't know, whatever. It seems the same thing, right? Yeah. No, it's interesting. Well, before I thought that, Kudzi, I wanted to confirm. Like, opinions are like evils, right? They all stink. So I'm like, is there a difference? Is there a next step? Is there a difference between B and C? And it seems like they're the same thing. Okay. It's the intercept as it crosses the X or the Y axes. Cool. Well, that was interesting. Yeah, American math and UK math, it could be. Okay? Yeah, so interesting, right? No, M is the slope. No, M is the slope, Mohammed. So anyways, right? Cool. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a subscriber of Forex.Today. Appreciate you. I appreciate your hard work. If you're in my day trading group, we're going to meet at 3 p.m. today for swing trading. We'll set up next week's trades. We'll review, obviously, what's been happening overnight and get some more day trades on. All that's going to be good in the hood. So thank you for being part of my day trading group or my swing trading group or my portfolio manager group. I'll see all of you guys today at 3 p.m. in the swing trading war room. 3 p.m. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be